All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Absolutely. Ready to dive in.
I think this is a topic that's going to resonate with a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
because I know it definitely hits home for me.
For sure. Yeah.
You're at the doctor and they start mentioning things like stroke risk and high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're like, wait, what?
Right.
I got to pay attention.
Yeah, totally.
So we asked you guys for some sources on lifestyle changes
Yeah.
that can really make a difference. And wow, you delivered.
Yeah. You guys send in some great stuff.
There is so much good advice out there, and we are going to break it down into bite-sized pieces.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be overwhelming.
Exactly. And trust me, there are some really interesting details in here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So let's just dive right in. One of the things that's always on my mind, when it comes to health is weight. I've always heard that, maintaining a healthy weight is super important. But, what's the actual connection to heart health?
Well, the heart is a muscle, right?
Right. Yeah.
And like any muscle, it can get strained if it's overworked.
Okay.
So think of it this way. Every extra pound you're carrying is like adding another passenger to a bus.
Okay.
Eventually, that bus is going to struggle to get up those hills right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's the same with your heart. Carrying excess weight means your heart's constantly working overtime to pump blood throughout your body.
So all that extra strain can lead to high blood pressure, which then increases the risk of stroke.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a domino effect. And you know what? That brings us to another big player, diet.
Okay. I was going to say that's got to be on the list.
It's huge. And I know you're probably thinking fruits, veggies, whole grains.
Right, the usual suspects.
Exactly. But here's the thing. It's not just about what we add to our plates.
Okay.
It's also about what we take away.
It's interesting.
We got to limit the things that put extra stress on our system.
What kind of things are we talking about?
Well, saturated and trans fats are definitely on the list.
Okay.
Cholesterol's another big one. And then there's sodium and added sugars. Those can really sneak up on you.
Oh, yeah. Sodium especially. I feel like it's in everything.
You're telling me. Processed foods, restaurant meals, even things that sound healthy can be loaded with it.
It's like a hidden enemy.
Right. Like, did you know that just 1 teaspoon of table salt has over 2,300 milligrams of sodium?
Wow.
And the recommended daily limit is only 2,300 milligrams total.
So basically 1 teaspoon and you're done for the day.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So reading labels is super important, but
Yeah.
there's more to it than that.
Okay, so what else can we do?
Well, cooking more meals at home is a game changer.
Okay.
You control the ingredients, you can get creative with spices and herbs instead of relying on salt for flavor.
That makes sense.
You can really make a difference in your sodium intake that way.
So we're eating smart, watching the sodium. What about exercise?
Ah, yes, exercise. It's so important, but I get it. Sometimes it can feel overwhelming.
For sure.
Like, where do I even find the time?
Exactly.
But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Okay, tell me more about that because I need to hear this.
Even small bursts of activity can make a difference.
Really?
Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week. Think brisk walking, dancing, gardening.
Okay.
You can even break it up into 10-minute chunks throughout the day.
So like taking the stairs instead of the elevator.
Exactly. Or going for a quick walk during your lunch break. Every little bit counts.
I love that. Makes it feel much more manageable.
Right. And then there's one more thing we got to talk about.
Okay, lay it on me.
Smoking.
Yeah, no way around it. That's a big one.
It's a major risk factor for stroke. And it's not just about lung health.
Right.
Smoking damages your blood vessels, making them more prone to clots and blockages.
Okay.
Imagine your blood vessels are like a highway, and smoking is like creating potholes.
That's definitely a visual I'll remember.
Yeah.
So we've covered diet, exercise, smoking. Where does alcohol fit into all of this?
Yeah, so alcohol, it's all about moderation. A glass of wine with dinner probably isn't going to hurt, but regularly drinking more than the recommended amount can raise your blood pressure over time.
And I think a lot of people would be surprised by what moderate actually means.
Oh, absolutely. For women, that means no more than 1 drink per day.
Okay,
And for men, it's no more than 2.
got it.
And it's important to remember what counts as a drink. We're talking 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits.
So it's easy to overdo it if you're not paying attention.
Right.
Wow, this has been so insightful. I think sometimes we hear these things like eat healthy exercise, don't smoke, but we don't always understand the why behind it.
Yeah.
And I think knowing how these lifestyle choices directly impact our risk of stroke and high blood pressure, it makes it all feel much more real.
Totally. And it's empowering too.
Yeah,
Because it means we have the power to take control of our health.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So to everyone listening out there, think about these tips. Think about those small changes you can make in your daily routine. And remember, every little bit counts.
You got it. So which of these steps will you focus on first?